Hello and welcome to Outlook from the BBC World Service. I'm Pune Godusi. Now, in many ways, Krsna Kothari is a typical American teenager. She's 17, goes to high school, and lives in Scarsdale, New York. Like her classmates, Krsna is preoccupied with planning her final year at school and is still deciding what she wants to study in the future. But in her spare time, Krsna also manages a project in Indore, central India. She's championing a campaign to clean up the town where her fathers come from, travelling there on a regular basis and speaking at public events. Her parents, who live in the States, and her Indian family in Indore are helping her. I spoke to Krsna from New York and she told me how it all started.
Whenever I went to India, I would always fall sick. I was usually in bed for a week maybe. This had never really happened in Korea or in Japan. It was just in India. And I didn't really figure out why this was happening until I went to the Taj Mahal when I was 11. It was beautiful. It was breathtaking. But the second thing I remember is stepping out of the palace grounds and getting hit with the stench of rotten vegetables and fecal matter and seeing dead dogs in the corner and piles of waste. It kind of got me thinking, so many people come here from all over the world to see the Taj Mahal, and even before they see the palace, they'll see this.
I assume your relatives, your cousins, and your friends who were there that you went to visit assumed this was really normal.
They thought that after eating a candy, it was okay to throw it on the streets. They didn't feel guilty because their fathers had done it or their grandfathers had done it. It's just embedded inside their system. It was just kind of sad.
Did you think you would be able to manage to change that kind of a culture?
Truthfully, in the beginning, it was kind of daunting. I tried talking to adults a couple of times and they really, truthfully, just ignored me because they thought that, what is this girl saying? She's younger than me, she won't
Yes, I was
know
going to
anything."
ask you actually, how difficult was it to get grown-ups or officials to take you seriously?
Even now, it's hard for me to get officials to actually take me seriously. I think the only reason why they even come to speak to me at all is because I'm from New York. It's been pretty hard, and that's why I've been focusing more on the students.
So tell me a little bit more about your project. You have a campaign on social media, and what else are you doing?
So basically, I started a Facebook page called Keep Indore Clean. For the past 3 summers, I went to Indore to give video presentations to students in schools about both the dangers of littering and what other countries have done to solve this problem. I also have this application that my dad actually made, and it allows members to report different locations in Indore, and we can see which parts of Indore are especially dirty or which parts of Indore are clean actually.
What is the reaction of the children, the students that you talk to when they hear about your project?
Like the first 3 or 4 schools, they kind of thought of me as a joke a little bit. Now, though, I'm actually getting a lot of Facebook messages back from students asking if they can actually have the videos themselves so they can make presentations in schools, which is amazing because it's not now me taking the initiative, it's now the students taking initiatives for themselves to help make their own city clean.
Do you feel sometimes that there's a different reaction or different responses from private schools and state schools?
The government schools that I went to, they consisted more of the students that lived in slums. The school would get out at 12:30 so that they can go to their jobs in restaurants or people's houses. So it was a totally different atmosphere than when I would go to these schools that had huge auditoriums with projectors the size of like movie theater projectors. The kids in the government school, they had a lot more energy, actually. They were so motivated to actually do something, and they would always ask questions, even though I'd have to use my small laptop to show them the videos.
What about the teachers, the principals, the directors of those schools?
My uncle is a little well-known in Indore, so he would go up to the teachers and ask them before I came to India if I could give presentations then. And some of the teachers would just be like, sure, like they would just casually say sure. There's actually one principal that was really helpful. She would always allow us to use her school for award ceremonies.
You have award ceremonies too?
There was a photo contest It was supposed to kind of represent the theme of Green Indore. So either it would be a photo of what they thought Indore looked like now or what they wanted Indore to look like in the future. And so we had an award ceremony for that. We got the mayor to speak in that award ceremony. We invited him and he came and he spoke a few words, which was amazing because it was actually the first time that we were able to get a government official to be involved in this program.
How did that make you feel that your project got this far?
Was pretty awesome and miraculous in a way. But the problem was that after the mayor had said something and he promised that he would do something about it and he would make a change, nothing really happened, which is kind of typical in India. They say things but they never really act upon their words, which is probably the biggest problem I have now.
I was speaking to Krsna Kothari, and you can see a photo of her as well on our Facebook page.